Corey Peruba 315 5th Street, Peru, Illinois 61354. Violation Notice 2023-132. Bull 09-1600 Sal County Lasalle CAMS Compliance File. Dear Corey Peruba, this constitutes a violation notice pursuant to Section 3 of the Illinois Environmental Protection Act, 415 ILCs 531st, and is based on an inspection completed on March 15, 2023, by representatives of the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. The Illinois EPA hereby provides notice of alleged violations of environmental laws, regulations, or permits as set forth in the attachment to this notice. The attachment includes an explanation of the activities that the Illinois EPA believes may resolve the specified alleged violations, including an estimate of a reasonable time period to complete the necessary activities. Due to the nature and seriousness of the alleged violations, please be advised that resolution of the violations may also require the involvement of a prosecutorial authority for purposes that may include, among others, the imposition of statutory penalties, a written response which may include a request for a meeting with representatives of the Illinois EPA, must be submitted via certified mail to the Illinois EPA within 45 days of receipt of this notice. If a meeting is requested, it shall be held within 60 days of receipt of this notice. The response must include information in rebuttal, explanation, or justification of each alleged violation and a statement indicating whether you wish to enter into a compliance commitment agreement pursuant to Section 31 of the Act. If you wish to enter into a CCA, the written response must also include proposed TENs for the CCA, including dates for achieving each commitment, and may include a statement that compliance has been achieved for some or all of the alleged violations. The proposed TENs of the CCCA should contain sufficient detail and must include steps to be taken to achieve compliance and the necessary dates by which compliance will be achieved. The Illinois EPA will review the proposed terms for a CCA provided by you, and within 30 days of receipt, will respond with either a proposed CCA or a notice that no CCA will be issued by the Illinois EPA. If the Illinois EPA sends a proposed CCA, you must respond in writing either by 2000, agreeing to and signing the proposed CCA, or by notifying the Illinois EPA that you reject the terms of the proposed CCA. If a timely written response to this violation notice is not provided, it shall be considered a waiver of the opportunity to respond and meet, and the Illinois EPA may proceed with referral to a prosecutorial authority. Written communications should be directed to Illinois Environmental Protection Agency ATN, Victoria Slayton Bureau of Land 24 1020, 1 North Grand Ave, East Springfield, Illinois 62794 9276. Please include the violation notice number L 2023-132 and the site identification number 098-160003 on all written communications and supporting documents. Notice attachment. Carus LLC owns and operates the business located at 1500 8th Street in Lasalle, Illinois. On March 15, 2023, the Illinois EPA conducted a records review of the subject property. During the review, apparent violations of the Illinois Environmental Protection Act and board regulations were observed. These apparent violations are discussed in further detail below. 1. Applicable authorities. 2. Code Illinois law prohibits any person from service. B. C. Causing, threatening, or allowing air pollution in Illinois. C. 415 ILCs. Causing, threatening, or allowing water pollution in Illinois. CLCs. Creating a water pollution hazard in Illinois. CLCs. Causing or allowing open dumping in Illinois. C-415 LCs, conducting any waste storage, waste treatment, or waste disposal operation without a permit granted by the Illinois EPA or in violation of any conditions imposed by such permit. CLCs, board regulations state that a. Disposing of, treating, storing, abandoning, or transporting any waste into Illinois at or to sites not meeting requirements of the Act. C-415 LCs 521. A person that generates a solid waste must make an accurate determination as to whether that waste is a hazardous waste. C-35 third. Adam, Code 722,111. A generator of a hazardous waste must determine if the waste has to be treated before it can be land disposed. C-35 ill. ADEM Code 728,107. A person that generates a solid waste must make an accurate determination as to whether that waste is a special waste. C-35 ill. ADEM Code 808,121. 3. Alleged violations. There was an industrial fire at the subject property which released potentially hazardous materials in the surrounding environment, which violates Illinois law and board regulations. 8,121. Suggested resolutions. Respondent should take remedial action to address the above-referenced violations, including hazardous waste determination, within 45 calendar days of receipt of this violation notice. Conduct hazardous waste and special waste determinations on all waste generated during the cleanup and remedial activities conducted as a response to the fire at the subject property in accordance with 35 the FIR. ADEM codes 722,111, 728,107, and 808,121. Materials removal. Within 45 calendar days of receipt of this VN, submit disposal documentation for all wastes removed from the subject property. including, but not limited to, contaminated soil, wastewater, groundwater, and fire debris. Dispose of all waste at an appropriately permitted facility to accept the wastes. Record keeping. Within 45 calendar days upon receipt of the VN, the respondent shall submit copies of records reflecting remedial actions undertaken to address the above referenced violations, including but not limited to transportation receipts, disposal receipts, waste determinations, and photographs reflecting the completion of the suggested resolutions identified above. 2. Submit a comprehensive site investigation work plan to investigate all contamination at the subject property, and that extends off of the subject property. Within 45 calendar days of approval of the SIWP, submit to the Illinois EPA a comprehensive site investigation report, remediation objectives report, and remedial action plan. These reports must address all contamination at the subject property and extending off the subject property. Bull 0998. 160003 Lasalle County, Lasalle, Carus. C. Within 60 calendar days of approval of the CSRR RAP, submit to the Illinois EPA a remedial action completion report. This RACR must address all contamination at the subject property and extending off of the subject property. All record-keeping documents should be mailed to Illinois EPA Rockford Regional Office ATN. Rebecca DeMay 4000, 302 North Main Street, Rockford, Illinois 61,000, 1,100. General facility information. Bola Ducepa ID, site name address, 0998160003L5,477,660. On March 15, 2023, one completed a review of the reported data from the January 12, 2023 sampling event in Lasalle, Lasalle County, Illinois. The sampling event was in response to an incident at Carus LLC on January 11, 2023. The scope of this review is limited to a comparison of the Illinois EPA sampling results with requirements specified in the Illinois Environmental Protection Act and 35 Illinois Administrative Code. Alleged violations identified previously remain outstanding, in addition to new apparent violations listed. Within this report, evaluation narrative. On January 12, 2023, Brooke Schumacher, Greg Hasmersky, Jake Ott, Josh Groth, Kari Jacobson, and I conducted follow-up inspections to the 11 January 2023 incident. Greg Hasmersky and I collected samples from the property at Carus and the surrounding area in Lasalle. The samples are identified as soil waste, encore, and wipe. The sampling event was conducted in response to an industrial fire that began at Carus on January 11, 2023. A separate report was completed by Greg Hasmersky to document the January 12, 2023 sampling event. Sample collection locations are included in the January 12, 2023 report. An additional report was completed by Jake Ott to document January 12, 2023 reconnaissance. On March 15, 2023, I reviewed data reported by the Illinois EPA laboratory. The purpose of this record review is to determine the chemical and/or potentially hazardous nature of samples collected at Carus Chemical Company following an industrial fire. The Illinois EPA chain of custody document for the January 12, 2023 sampling event is appended to this report. Reported sampling event analytical data from the Illinois EPA laboratory was appended to a separate report. Please note. Page 63 of the reported dataset includes notes and definitions to substantiate qualifying codes which may accompany a specific datum. I compared the reported data to the following: the maximum concentration of contaminants for the corrosivity characteristic and the toxicity characteristic listed in 35 Illinois Administrative Code. 721,122 and 721,124, and also to the concentrations in background soils listed in 35 IAC 742. Appendix A, Tables G and H. The location of sample 201 is described as the ground surface immediately southwest of the structure that was involved in the fire. A sample set, identified as 201, which includes 201E, was collected from the ground surface and analyzed for total contaminant concentrations. Selenium was reported at a concentration greater than 20 times the toxicity level specified in 35 IAC 721,124 in sample 201. The pH of sample 201 was quantified as 127, which is greater than the characteristic of corrosivity for hazardous waste specified in 35 IAC 721,122. The following inorganic chemicals were reported above the corresponding concentrations for background soils specified in 35 IAC 742. Appendix A. Table G in samples 201, antimony, cadmium, sodium, calcium, xylenium, aperi, selenium, thallium, selenium. Acetone was reported at UGL in sample 201, but not in the corresponding set of trip blanks. The remaining samples identified as 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, and 306 are wipe samples. However, no standards exist to compare with the reported wipe sample data. Summary of apparent violation. Date. Status violation continuing June 21, 2022. Continuing June 21, 2022. New. Type. A condition 7. 315-2023, 315-2023, 12. Narrative conduct of waste storage, treatment, or disposal operation. Without a permit or in violation of any conditions imposed by such permit, all monitoring points shall be maintained such that a sample may be obtained. Cause, threaten or allow air pollution in Illinois. Cause, threaten or allow water pollution in Illinois, create a water pollution hazard. Cause, or allow open dumping conduct of waste storage, treatment, or disposal operation without a permit or in violation of any conditions imposed by such permit. Dispose, treat, store, abandon any waste, or transport any waste into Illinois at, or to sites not meeting requirements of the Act. Hazardous waste determination. LDR determination made. Special waste determination. FOIA property of Jamie Hicks. Please request at JM Hicks 79 Igmail. Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. 1021 North.
U.S. Department of Labor Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Naperville Area Office. 1771 West Deal Road Suite 210. Naperville, Illinois, 60563. Company name, Carus Chemical Company LLC. Original inspection No. 164-3025. Date citation issued, July 7, 2023. Date contested, July 20, 2023. Date to OSHRC. Citation number classification penalty. Citations, 1 series $15,191. Informal conference date, July 19, 2023. Inspection background. Inspection was related to a fire which occurred at their warehouse and which involved the storage of a strong oxidizer along with combustible material. The chemical, potassium permanganate, a powder, was in a super sack on a wood pallet which also had a piece of cardboard underneath it. The super sack was ripped while being loaded onto a truck and some of the chemical spilled out. After the super sack was patched and the spill cleaned up, a forklift operator was in the process of moving the pallet when the fire was started by friction caused by the forklift pushing the pallet. It is likely that the friction ignited material underneath the pallet. The entire warehouse was consumed in the fire. The citation was issued with regard to the storage of a strong oxidizer with combustible material such as wood and cardboard. Company position: the employer disagrees with concept that storage is not appropriate. They will not agree to citation with scope of storage in warehouse, trucks, etc. They do not believe that is applicable. Regarding the incident, the employer representative stated that at best, it is a case of misconduct and would never have happened if PIV operator didn't push the pallet. The employer would like the citations vacated. Agency position: the citations are valid as issued. There is good industry recognition on the storage issue. The company manufactures this chemical and their own SDS warns against storage of the chemical with combustible material. Settlement offered: no settlement offers have been made by either party at this time. Issues: jurisdiction, not applicable. Media, no. FAT/CAT, no. Criminal, no. Priority, non-priority. Affirmative defense: the employer did allege employee misconduct during the informal conference. He stated that the employee was not supposed to push the pallet, thereby creating friction which ignited the fire. CC, Matt McNicholas OSHA PARA.
3. Inspection site, 1508th Street, Lasalle, Illinois 61301. The violation described in the citation and notification of penalty is alleged to have occurred on or about the day the inspection was made, unless otherwise indicated within the description given below. This citation and notification of penalty describes violations of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970s. The penalty listed herein is based on these violations. You must abate the violations referred to in this citation by the dates listed and pay the penalties proposed. Unless within 15 working days from your receipt of this citation and notification of penalty you either call to schedule an informal conference or you mail a notice of contest to the U.S. Department of Labor Area Office at the address shown above. Please refer to the enclosed booklet, which outlines your rights and responsibilities and which should be read in conjunction with this form. Issuance of this citation does not constitute a finding that a violation of the Act has occurred unless there is a failure to contest as provided for in the Act, or if contested. Unless the citation is affirmed by the Review Commission or a court. Posting. The law requires that a copy of this citation and notification of penalty be posted immediately in a prominent place at or near the location of the violation cited herein. If it is not practicable because of the nature of the employer's operations, where it will be readily observable by all affected employees. This citation must remain posted until the violation cited herein has been abated, or for 3 working days, whichever is longer.